Today we'll introduce you to a student who is very family-oriented and truly admires family values. She enjoys visiting her family as often as possible in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and loves taking pictures with her relatives to savor the time they have together and build lasting memories. She is a journalism major in her last semester here at Norwalk Community College. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, John Teeter, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the students involved with this program are students of the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, and operating cameras for the first time. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when are not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring you this production with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they are planning, and give you the chance to know and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is in her last semester at Norwalk Community College. She enjoys taking pictures of her family and spending time in Florida. Please meet Elle. Elle, we know that you enjoy spending quality time with your family in Florida and taking pictures. Which pictures would you say are your favorites?
Well, I would have to say that my favorite pictures are the ones of my little cousins. My mom has 2 younger sisters, and they both have little boys. My Aunt Heidi has a son who's 2 years old, and his name is Alex. And my Aunt Carol has a son named Philip, and he's 5. And I try to travel to Florida as often as I can, at least 3 times a year, if not more. Maybe for holidays or birthdays if I can make it down there. I miss them a lot when they're away, but it's also nice that I have these pictures to look back at, and it's kind of just something that I can make an album out of, and I just enjoy spending time with them. It's hard for me because I feel like I'm missing out on them growing up. Every time I go back down there, they're bigger than the last time I was there. So I just take a lot of pictures, and they're such good kids, and they're always willing to pose for me, which is awesome, because usually kids at that age aren't willing to take any pictures, but they do, and they're just great. I love spending time with them. And there's Philip and me and my sister. That's my sister Alexa. And that's Alex on the left and Philip on the right.
Oh, cute.
Aren't they? And Philip and Alex are actually mine and my sister's godsons as well, because I baptized Philip and my sister Alexa baptized Alex, who is in the picture right now with me.
Very nice.
Aren't they cute? So I just try to go down there as often as I can, but I miss them a lot. That's at Alex's baptism.
I can imagine. Could you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course?
Well, I'm a journalism major, so I had to take this course. It was required for me, but I did take a photography class prior to the semester, and I really enjoyed it, and I did well in it, and it kind of got me excited for TV One, because I was just interested to compare the differences and the similarities between the 2 forms of visual communication.
Now, what do you think are some of the most useful things you have learned in this class?
Well, I learned a lot about what goes into making a certain production, whether it's a movie or it's a short sequence that's 2 minutes long. And I also learned that photography and television production really do have a lot in common as far as composition and trying to tell a story through pictures or shots. I learned that framing and different angles and also camera heights have a lot to do with how you want to portray a certain character or object. I also learned that having more shots is always better than less shots, because when you go back and you're editing, you're always wishing that you took extra shots because things don't quite go together right, and that always comes in handy. And I learned a lot of cool stuff while editing, like things that you can put in between shots for smoother transitioning, like for example dissolves. And I also worked with audio. I got to put music to a lot of my projects, which was really cool because you would be surprised how much music really plays a big role. It could set the mood for a scene, and it could affect the audience that's viewing it and make them feel one way or another.
Very good. Could you please tell us about some of your projects, your short sequence, your nature video, as well as your orange project?
Okay, well, first there's my nature project. I thought this came out much better than I had expected, which made me really happy. I shot at the Bartlett Arboretum in Stanford. It's really beautiful there, and I was lucky to get a really beautiful sunny day, and the sun was in and out all day, but I got some really cool shots of the sun glaring into the camera, which I thought came out really well. I was really happy with that. This last shot is coming through the trees, which is cool. This is my orange project, and I got the lovely Jaren to be my main character. I use a lot of different shots here, not to make it so boring. There's an over-the-shoulder shot where you can see what she's reaching into to get out of the bag, and just basic close-ups to emphasize each item in the bag. And then the orange ends up rolling away, and I made it a cute little love story at the end because the orange ends up meeting its apple. So that was pretty funny.
Aww.
And this is just my short sequence, which is basically just a learning project for me. I got Jamie to help me out with this one. I got a really cool shot of him walking into the camera, and then I turned it around and had his back walking out, so it looked like he walked right through. Just did basic close-ups here of different things, just different angles.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Please tell us about your best project. All of those were lovely, but which one's your best project?
Thanks. Well, I would have to say my best project was the nature project. It really came out nicer than I had initially expected. I just focused really on a lot of lines. I thought this was a really cool shot. I focused on the leaf, and then I just slowly zoomed out so you can see the converging lines. I just think it's just very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. I focused on a lot of things and zoomed out, which you really didn't initially know what was in the picture until I started zooming out, which I thought was like a really cool effect. And the Bartlett Arboretum is somewhere I'm always walking through when it's springtime, when the weather gets nice. It's really nice. There's a lot of bridges and there's a lot of benches there, so I did find a lot of converging lines and just really cool shots of trees too. There's a shot where the branches are out of focus, and then I slowly bring them in focus, and I thought that came out really cool because they were moving as is, and the sky was just really cool.
Very nice, very nice. So what would you like to create next?
Well, I already take a lot of pictures, so I figure that I'll take what I've learned from TV One and I'll start using my video camera a lot more, and maybe instead of taking pictures of my family when I visit them on vacation, I can just take videos instead, and maybe that'll be cooler than pictures. It'll be like a video album. So.
Very nice. Well, thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the TV production course here at Norwalk Community College. They are directing, switching, controlling audio, and operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. Today we got to meet Elle, who shared some of the wonders of her life and story with us, so thank you, Elle.
Thanks.
And she plans to use her knowledge from Television One to edit some of her upcoming trips and other projects. So thank you for joining us today, and good night.
This has been another edition of The New Directors, with your host, John Teeter, directed by Byron Kittle. I'm your announcer, Pete Farnsworth. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.